morning and welcome to Grow Beautiful Flavor. My name is Carolyn and I have a couple things to show you this morning. So, a few months ago, not too long ago, we were having some issues with our dryer. Well, maybe a year ago or a year and a half ago, we live close to the beach, and so I had asked my husband what he thought about a clothesline. Now, my intention for a clothesline was actually for when we got back from the beach and to be able to hang up our like the sandy stuff, like the sandy towels and stuff like that, just to let them shake out and just kind of get some of the sand out. But then when our dryer started having some issues, we were just trying to baby it along, you know, like a lot of people do. And my husband came to me and he said, "Hey, what do you think about a clothesline? You know, will that help you?" And so I started thinking about it, and I was like, "Yeah, you know, let's try that." So we went to the store and we bought all the lumber for it. You know, bought a couple bags of the Quickcrete to put in the ground, and we came back home and my husband had it all drawn out, and he came to me and said, "Okay, you know, this is the design I came up with. What do you think?" I was like, "Oh yeah, that's great." He said, "Okay, so go ahead and go outside and just mark out where you want it." And I said, "Okay." Well, I showed him where I wanted it, and he said, when I showed him where it was I thought would be a good spot for it, he said, "You know, I think that's a good spot for it, but I got another idea that just came to me as we came out here." He said, "What if we put it on the side of the building?" I said, "On the side of the building? What are you talking about?" Well, I grew up with a clothesline, and ours was not on the side of a building, nor had I ever seen one on the side of a building before. So, I didn't quite know what he was talking about. But he got online and showed me some pictures of what he meant. I got kind of excited when he showed me this, because this meant that no longer did we have to mow around any extra poles or anything to that matter. So I just wanted to show you kind of what we came up with and what we did. Now, to my surprise, is how much we actually use this clothesline. There again, I mean, remember, I just wanted the clothesline so that we could, you know, hang up a few beach things and let the sand get knocked out before I actually wash them. But we use this clothesline, if not 7 days a week, probably at least 5, maybe 4 at the least. Just depends if it's kind of rainy or we're super busy or whatever. But typically we use it a lot. The clothesline spans the whole side of this shed, and where it's not huge, but there are 4 lines running across, and it does our clothes really well. So let me just show you a little bit about it. Right here, it's just, we used 4x4s, and one is going vertically, and we bolted it in with carriage bolts onto this building. Now the other side of this shed doesn't have insulation or anything, so we could just go right in and screw it on the nut right behind on the other side of the wall. So it's well secured in onto this wall with 4 carriage bolts. And then he actually put a 4x4 on top and bolted it in this way. Then he put a support, obviously you can see here. The key to this is this right here. Now, we didn't know what to expect. We knew there was going to be a lot of weight on the clothesline just because of the wet clothes, but we didn't know exactly how much support we needed. So we put it up first and just kind of let the line straighten out, and just with the tension of the clothes. But we quickly found out that you needed some kind of line to pull this out, because otherwise the weight of the clothes on the line would just bring it in. I mean, and it makes sense. It really does. So what we did was we had some. Now here again, you know, we try to use a little bit of what we had. We just used some garage door cable and then some connectors, and connected it from here, or out here at the end of the arm, and then to the side of the building, and that just pushes it, gives it enough push away from each other to not make the ends push in when you have your clothes hanging out down on them. Then he actually put in right up here, you can see their little connectors, and it makes it so much easier to tighten up when they get a little bit loose. Now the one I grew up with at home didn't have those, and so, you know, they would get loose, and you know, you wait a little bit before you tighten them up. These, you know, I can just walk over and tighten them up real quick, and they're tight. This is definitely a project that we did that we have used way more than what I ever thought we would. There again, I thought we might use it a couple times a month, maybe, but no, it's, I would say average, probably 5 to 6 times a week we use it. It was definitely a good investment for us. Now, as you can see, I'll show you this. It's not pretty. It's kind of ugly. But I actually made this real quick. I had an old shirt that actually didn't fit me anymore, and I sewed up the I cut off the bottom, and I sewed it up just to make a little pouch, and then I bent up a hanger and sewed it in just to where it wouldn't slip out. But this holds up all of our clothespins just to where I can slide them down the line as I need them, and it's really works great. My brother and sister-in-law had one of these. It was much prettier and much more well done than mine, but it all works the same. Now, I also wanted to show you some of our loofah gourds. I started growing these this year. It was the first time I'd ever grown them, and I harvested these and have hung them up on the clothesline to dry. Now, this is something that I had never done before. I've watched people make soap and saw that sometimes they'd put these inside of the soap when they made it, and I thought it looked so interesting, but I never had my hands on a loofah seed, and I don't know, you're so busy when you're buying seeds, getting green beans and corn and tomatoes and peppers, that it wasn't really high on my priority. On the other hand, I was at my friend's house one time, and she had some of the loofah gourds like this. They were dried. She was using them for her dishes, and there was actually still a black seed inside. Now, there are still some seeds. You can see in here I haven't taken them out completely yet. I've gotten some of them out, but not all of them. But there was a seed inside one of hers, and I said, oh, could I use that, or can I take that seed? And she was like, yeah, sure, if you want it, go ahead. So I had one seed to this loofah plant, and I saved it. And so this spring, I planted it. Now, let me show you from the one seed what we have going on. They're almost done drying up here. So, okay, check this out. One seed. That's it. One seed did this whole span. Within this span, you can see the little loofahs. Actually, they're not little. They're quite big loofahs, just tucked up in here. Here's one, and it's not ready to be picked yet. It's still really hard and really firm. Let's see if I can find one that's ready to pick. Okay, so this is our first year of growing loofahs. And from what I've seen, I've done a lot of research on them, but from what I've seen this year is they kind of go through different stages. When they're real little, you can eat them, but like this one, it's got some give to it. It's kind of squishy, but it's not ready yet. That's when the stuff is still soft inside. And then you get to a stage like this, where it's really hard. I can't even squish it at all. But when these were ready, the outside of it was, I don't know, it was almost like when you squeeze it, there was some give to it, and you could feel it was like the outside skin was kind of coming away from the inside flesh. So it was a different feeling. So you don't want it to be soft and squishy necessarily, and then it'll get hardened. You don't want to pick it then either, but then it'll get like to where the outside layer, it almost, when you squish it, it feels like it's coming away from the insides, and that's really when you want to pick them. Now I've seen people, I have not let any of them actually get completely brown yet, because I've heard that it's so hard to take the outside off. So by getting it when it's still a little bit green but starting to turn brown, and where it kind of, you can feel that give in between the middle flesh and the outside, that's a decent time to go ahead and pick them and to take the outsides off. I just threw the outsides in my compost pile, and then I took these and I just ran them through water under the sink and really squished them out really good. Just, there's a little bit of, I don't know, kind of reminds me of aloe. You know how it's just like that kind of slimy type texture, and that's what's in all these fibers, is just that aloe. Now, well, I can hear the seeds rattling, and some of them are flying out as I move it up and down. But so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just cut these, and I'm just gonna cut them in like little rings, and I might use some of them as like shower scrubs or dish scrubs, but I'm also kind of hoping to be able to make some soap stuff here. I've never made soap, but it's always been something I've been interested in doing. So maybe sometime a little after Christmas or something would be a good time to break out the whole learning how to make soap. So I would like to save these, some of them if I can, for that, because I would love to be able to make some soap with them. But I'm gonna cut them into slices and put them in a bag and save them for later once they're completely dry. I can still feel a little bit of moisture in these, so they're not quite ready to take inside and put in a bag yet, but they're getting real close, so maybe just a couple more days. Again, thank you for joining us on Grow Beautiful Flavor. We really appreciate you all just joining us with this process. Just go ahead and like and subscribe to these videos. That way you can see when new videos come out. And we would really enjoy having you all come along with us on this process. We will see you all next time.